trying to keep their focus, a sense of occasion here. Unfortunately, we can also feel the moths in the air. And there's some concern from last night through today, certainly when the players were warming up. Whether it's a plague of moths or a swarm of moths, I'm not sure, but there are plenty of them about. Have healed. Here they are proud of Les Bleus again. For Portugal, simply one issue, the fitness of Pepe, the Real Madrid defender who's wished to play in the semi-final, was overruled by their medical team. Well, he has recovered tonight and replaces Bruno Alves, and William Carvalho returns after suspension. It's a mixture of which, going into a 7th game in less than a month, is surely more of a help than a hindrance. When Nani's ready, away we go.
Yeah, that physical aspect, as you said, Martin, might play a part, and I just wonder whether experience might as well. I mean, you look at that Portugal back four, and apart from Portugal at the moment, struggling to get up to the pace of France, getting robbed to the ball, just like Ronaldo was there.
And he stayed down, but Mark Clattenburg saw nothing wrong, and France play on. And now Fernando Santos is telling his players from down in the technical area there, you can see him put it out. Quite high enough, not quite deep enough. So, Matuidi stepping in, Griezmann. Not an easy ball to strike on the turn.
Well, I've got players surging forward, players attacking the ball really well here, France.
They used 17 players in that first game, 15 of whom were involved in this squad. Here's Payet, not a slip. Oh, what a good header. It was typical of a man in form from Griezmann. But Rui Patricio in Portugal's goal is having a good tournament too, and he was needed to stop that just looping in.
Starting with a mistake from Pepe, a slip down here on the near touchline.
Next mark in the final. France's corner, taken by Payet. And Giroud, who started the tournament off, of course, with a goal at this end of the stadium. Give them the lead. This was Griezmann quality that's got them as far as this. Very tough to break down and get goals against, by and large.
You can see the pattern of the game already. Portugal camping in.
Lost on penalties in the end to Sweden. William Carvalho, he hopefully doesn't get a penalties here, but there's worse than that.
That is not good news, is it? I think that's the end of his night by the looks of him.
And sheer distress for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I think it must have been that Payet challenge that he hasn't recovered from. And as a player, you know when it's not going to get better, when you're going to have to.
So, Sanya giving chase this time. Assistant behind the goal, helping Mark Clattenburg. In the month of football here. It's a great run by Moussa Sissoko.
They can't handle it, can they? They can't handle that power once he starts steaming through. If there's a criticism of him, it's that he does.
Off Sissoko goes again. It's a wonderful run, led to a corner more than any France player. He's tried to seize the occasion here.
Yeah, beautiful play on the half-turn when he received it. His first touch was sound.
Here's Payet. Sissoko has done well, and Rui Patricio well again. It's turning out to be a bit of a duel here.
It just got plenty behind that. Moussa Sissoko.
Linda still going. Adrian Silva wanted a bit too much time, but Carrera's got a good left foot, and there's a deflection on that.
Well, that involved two key men. I think Ronaldo Sanchez now in that central area can be invaluable in terms of bringing the ball forward quickly, and Nani's absolutely full of confidence.
Just that time, Payet. He's giving it away, and Rafael Guerrero stepping in. Now Jean Mario. again, you think if Cristiano Ronaldo had been in the middle with his aerial power and his strength, he's subbed in the first half of the final. He'd been looking forward to so much, but Portugal have dug in since then. They've kept their confidence. Nani's taking on greater responsibility in that armband. Glad to have Pepe back in their defence. France, if you
look at Sissoko as well and Matuidi, I think he's been the one that hasn't really got into this.
Well, during the half-time break, Kingsley Coman was warming up for France, leading to all sorts of suggestions that perhaps Dimitri Payet was coming off it. Olivier Giroud got a bit of a knock towards the end of the first half, but they're both out there, and Coman's entrance hasn't happened yet. Second comes in. Guerrero gets his head to it, a bit awkward for him. Pogba trying one of those to sit and dip.
It's a decent enough ball. Font takes care of Giroud. Pogba just needs something to kick-start his night. It's been difficult for him.
France, for the most part, at arm's length. Sissoko drives on again, trying to roll it in for the dual strike force of Giroud and Griezmann.
Yeah, Griezmann at the far post, just blocked off from making his run. Be a good time to get another.
Patricio doesn't deal with it first time, but does second. Just rightly say, Alan Pogba in there. Pogba's ball to Coman. I don't think too many people in the stadium can believe he's missed that.
Well, he's run off Guerrero at the far post, and I think the left-back thought this was going to be a goal. Does he miss time?
Titi, Coman. He's done well here. And that's better. He's created the shooting chance for Antoine Griezmann. On an easy one from that angle. And straight away into the action, the substitute.
Yeah, two players with enormous pace.
Too much sinister to deal with. It's a he'll get back on his feet here, and he has done. For Giroud on his strong side. Another strong save from Rui Patricio. Sagna. Sissoko in too much of a hurry. Out comes Guerrero. It's a good take on the stretch. Silverware into their baggage. Big hit by Coman, but he wasn't too close to the target.
He's made a difference since coming on.
Giroud, back for Coman again, great interplay. And William Carvalho a little bit more desperate in that piece of defending. Giroud and Coman finding Moutinho. Nani!
He looks a different player out here to the one that many Manchester United fans might have remembered.
And it's Renato Sanchez who doesn't look best pleased. See Nani from the right. Oh! Comes out for Quaresma. Well, that could have been the final decided in a most unorthodox fashion. Nani's ball in.
Yeah, well, it was a cross, I think.
Evra. Gignac. He's spin here. He has done! It's still on for France. Griezmann. Well, they'll come no closer without actually a mistake now. Be a great time to find a real moment of quality like that from Sissoko. Coman. And then the follow-up from Moussa Sissoko, who's done so much to try and Lloris, who's had so little to do, but the players have more work, and no wonder Gignac reflects on that. It was a superb turn, and Rui Patricio was beaten, but the frame of the goal came to Portugal's rescue. Maybe they would argue that they deserved that, having lost Cristiano Ronaldo so early in this final. But those who were left have fought so hard and thoroughly deserved.
Sure, it'll be catching on all around the world.
And we had a team photo, all of us here working for UEFA, and it ended with that. You won't be surprised to know, earlier in the day. So, 15 minutes each way to go. Still awaiting the first goal in the final. That signs towards the end of the 90th. Cedric is Kingsley Coman need to go through the gears. It's a great run, and then William Carvalho steps in, takes the booking for the team. Taken by Quaresma, flags up. And it wasn't too far away, but it wouldn't have counted.
It was a nice ball in, nothing wrong with that. But
Use of his power in a central position, Gignac trying to guide it down. There's too much pace on the ball. Apologies from players Matuidi, but not going to spare him the card.
Medea's thrown himself at it over the top.
Here is Quaresma. Well, France survive and look to counter-attack here with Griezmann and Coman. Set piece. Well, from Portugal's point of view, a particular evening in Lisbon, dreadful defending. Now France need to be, there's some pushing and shoving going on here. There's no surprise that Pepe is right at the heart of it. João Moutinho. Little casual from Nani, but here we are at half-time. And Fernando Santos probably think his team should be in front. Lloris having to deal with the effort from Eder. And a straightforward ball in from the corner. It's still 0-0 after now 105 minutes here in the Stade de France. What an incredible coach. He's an amazing guy, all his academic qualifications. One of the few men, Fernando Santos, to manage all the big three in the Portugal's league, Porto, Benfica and Sporting. So another 15 minutes to come, and signs towards the end of the first half of extra time that Portugal, headed by Guerreiro, chance for handball. Been given, and it's within range. Koscielny deemed to have done it deliberately. Teaching of the art. But it's Guerreiro who takes it, hits the bar. Well, he scored a couple of goals already. Portugal could have written, had their name inscribed on the trophy with that free kick. Here comes Eder. Not got much help. Oh, he doesn't need any help. How about that? The striker who rarely scores has scored maybe the biggest goal in the history of the Portugal national team.
Well, I said earlier, he would have been an unlikely hero when he had that header saved by Hugo Lloris. But that drive from distance, he could not have hit it any better. As you say, Martin, he's not a striker that stands out. But boy, has he stepped forward for his country here. Had a bit of space.
Coman needs to get his cross in. Does get his cross in. The flag did go up in the end, not on the shot from Martial. Well, that could be that. Always makes referees add on a little bit more time. But it's the greatest night in Portugal's football history for Cristiano Ronaldo. From tears to cheers and more tears this time of joy. Their first major trophy against all the odds. And France, just as Portugal did themselves in 2004, fail in front of their own fans. And it's Portugal who are champions of Europe. They hadn't beaten the French for 41 years. 10 successive defeats. 3-3, one of the games of the tournament for excitement. Had to go into extra time, and late goal from Quaresma in the round of 16. 1-1 after extra time against Poland. Renato Sanchez scored in that game, then they won on penalties. Then they beat Wales in the orthodox fashion in 90 minutes in the semi-final. And here they are, extra time and winners again on the big night. Well, ready for the photos, but it's an even better snap when you've got the silverware in your hands. And it's coming Portugal's way. They are maybe party poopers in Paris, but they are Portugal. And tonight they've been simply magnificent. Champions of Europe 2016.